Well, Ann Coulter, of course, the best-selling author, a lot of great books. If you've read everything in your library now during this lockdown, you can get her books, any of Ann Coulter's books. Follow her on Twitter, the new column. You can go to AnnCoulter.com, a lot of stuff up on her website, AnnCoulter.com. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you, Mark Simone?
Excellent. You're back on Twitter, right?
Yes, I was on vacation, so I appealed it for 12 days, and they still hadn't reviewed my appeal. It's a very fair judicial system. They delete the tweet while you appeal, and you can't be on Twitter while you're appealing, and the only way to be back on Twitter is to withdraw your appeal.
I know. It is some business model. It would be
totally accepted by the ACLU.
Yeah, some business model they got. If they don't like it, you're suspended. If you love Joe Biden, you're never suspended no matter what you say.
No, it's actually really striking. Well, they do have a great business model. It's called a monopoly, which is why we were hoping President Trump would do something about it. Alas, but what's striking about it, both Twitter and Facebook, it's all about Kyle Rittenhouse, the kid who I think pretty clearly acted in self-defense. If you've seen the videos out in Kenosha, he was, providing first aid to protesters. He was there to protect private property. Kenosha's a nice little town. I was there a couple of years ago. It's a very sweet town. And these Antifa lunatics were burning down gas stations and buildings, destroying. You probably saw the video of the furniture store, other family business, just completely destroyed by these lunatics over Jacob Blake. When the police were called by a woman who had already reported him for rape, who had an arrest warrant against him, he pulls a knife on the cops and then strolls around and reaches into his car. This is what all the rioting was about. Anyway, our hero, Kyle Rittenhouse, goes up to Kenosha with others. I understand that even the gun he had was perfectly legal, although he was 17, because he didn't take it over state lines. That's the only thing that would potentially be illegal. The Antifa goons start chasing him, and as we know, Antifa goons have killed a fair number of people in these riots in the past few months, including just cold-blooded murder last week in Portland. So one of them is throwing a convicted child molester who spent 12 years in prison, is chasing him, very close to him, throws what may have been a Molotov cocktail at him. Kyle Rittenhouse swings around, shoots him, dead. He keeps running. Now, two Antifa are chasing him, and one with a skateboard, which can be a deadly weapon if you hit somebody with it. This is a common weapon of Antifa, to carry objects that seem like ordinary objects, sometimes flags that turn into spears. He comes up, and right as he's about to smash, Kyle Rittenhouse is running, falls down. Right as the second Antifa, a repeat domestic abuser, also served time in prison, and it's very hard to get a prison sentence in America. I mean, you get 1 million plea deals and probation. So this was a pretty bad guy. He's about to smash Kyle Rittenhouse on the head with the skateboard. Kyle Rittenhouse shoots, dead. Another third Antifa, his criminal record is somewhat foggier. There have been conflicting reports, but he absolutely has been arrested, including firearms charges. He's holding a gun, which you can see him holding the gun. Kyle Rittenhouse, in an amazing shot, shoots the arm holding the gun, hand freezes up, and the evidence remains in the guy's hand. He lives, but he had surgery on his arm. Well, the social media monopoly has decided to turn poor Kyle Rittenhouse, defender of civil liberties and private property, and an excellent marksman. They've decided to turn him into, Timothy McVeigh, Adolf Hitler. Mark Zuckerberg calls him a mass murderer for engaging in self-defense in America. So anything positive, even a jokey thing like I tweeted out, will be removed. Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney was suspended from Twitter for writing positive things about Twitter. And there's another guy who posted on Facebook, not Twitter, a video of Kyle Rittenhouse giving first aid to protesters earlier in the evening in Kenosha. Facebook removed it. So this is an all-out war. This is going to be bigger than Nick Sandmann. A United States senator, the senator you'll be familiar with him, Chris Murphy. Very, very dumb, probably the dumbest senator from my home state of Connecticut, called Kyle Rittenhouse a white nationalist on Twitter. Ayanna Pressley, United States representative, called him a white supremacist. And by the way, needless to say, there has been massive investigation into Kyle Rittenhouse. If he had ever sent an inappropriate text to someone, if he had ever made an offhand comment, they can't find anything on this guy. So a United States senator and a United States representative engaged in per se defamation against Kyle Rittenhouse, it's looking like, and they may have forgotten they don't have congressional immunity for tweets.
Hey, the real problem, if you saw that George Floyd killing and you were horrified by that and you wanted to make sure something like that never happened again, you could be out there legitimately protesting. But your movement got hijacked by this BLM, which is just a fundraising arm for three people, and this George Soros-funded Antifa idiot. So whatever you were originally trying to protest is completely lost now in all this anarchy, rioting, and crap. So it's sad to watch the original movement, which might have had some validity to it and did, and is gone. And what can they do? They can't get their movement back. These idiots.
No, you're absolutely right. They've just been waiting for this. I mean, this has been going on for some time, from Ferguson, Trayvon Martin. Every time a conservative like me shows up at a college campus to give a speech, the left have some elements of them. Well, they're heavily the mentally ill and those with criminal records, just want to run around burning things, destroying things, and this is their excuse for it. I guess they think this is going to help elect Biden. But I would like to go back to your first point, and that was the legitimate protest to begin with. Yes, of course, there are totally different orders of magnitude. If you want to go out and march, go ahead, march for anything. You can march for, the end of daylight savings time. Actually, I would totally support that. But I would recommend that after we've gone through, it's now been about a dozen of these cases, and every single time, Mark Simone, the original media narrative is completely false. Yeah. So you may not know what happened right away, but the one thing you can be absolutely sure of, what the media is telling you is a lie. And I'll take George Floyd. It was supposed to be that the cop kneed on his neck, strangled him to death. Oh, he's dying, he can't breathe. Then we get, autopsy after autopsy. No, he took an overdose of fentanyl and died of an overdose in police custody. Even the one that I thought was the most legit, I was talking to a friend of mine, and then I looked it up. The follow-up story from the media didn't get as much press, and that was the Breonna Taylor story. The original claim was, the cops screwed up. They got a warrant, a no-knock warrant for the wrong house. They burst into this house. And of course the homeowner shoots back, and then they murder this innocent woman. Turns out totally false. According to even CNN's account, they did have a warrant. They were wrapping up a huge drug crack operation. Breonna Taylor was the target of the warrants. They were absolutely at the right house. Although they were arresting the main guy. They thought she was his supplier. Yeah. The main guy they had already busted into and arrested. And they did these no-knock warrants simultaneously so they couldn't warn one another. They have the main crack dealer. They did knock. So never believe the first story.
No, you're never getting that right. I hate to say we're out of time, but we'll continue this next time. But check out Ann Coulter on Twitter, and just go to her website, anncoulter.com. There's a lot of great stuff up there, and the whole new website, anncoulter.com. New column comes out tonight. And get her books. Get what's the best book on rioting?
Demonic, about mobs.
Demonic, that's right. Get Demonic. You'll learn a lot about what's going on. But any book by Ann Coulter, and go to anncoulter.com. And Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
Take care.